Good morning. Is it morning? Yeah, it's 10:52 a.m. on this beautiful Sunday. It's been real rainy this weekend, but I love the rain. I was in it yesterday. Actually, went outside, stood in the rain, chilled in the rain, got wet. Good vibes. Good vibes. I mean, I'm gonna just walk some because it's nice. I want to walk. Get this stuff off my mind or whatever. The main thing I've been feeling recently is tired. Super tired, super tired, super tired. So tired. It's like I'm saying it now, in the tone I'm saying it because it's been a few, because I'm in a point where I can energetically say this. But yesterday, I tried to make a video, but I'm like, girl, don't even force it because, the amount of crying, the amount of asking God why. It comes a point, after you go through a whole bunch of BS, and it just hits you back to back to back. And it becomes that point when sometimes it's multiple points, but it's the point when you can't move. You have so much pain in your body. You have so much stress and disappointments and even gratitude. And it's like you try to pick yourself up, try to keep going. And in this point, it's like the point that I'm talking about is, damn, I kind of lost my train of thought. It's like when, you struggling with finding your purpose. The reason to live. Everything sits on you and it's what am I even doing? Why? I feel like a fool. I feel like a fool for even hoping that this situation, that situation, that this hope, that hope, it start to make hope feel foolish. It starts to make looking for good foolish. It starts to make pushing feel foolish. Why am I still going? Why am I still going? That's the point that I'm talking about. The point where you just can't figure out why. What am I even doing? What am I even... for me, I don't have a lot of people to talk to. This YouTube video, this vent sesh, this walk, this is something that, I've just started doing to get it off. Whether somebody watches it, doesn't watch it, likes it, doesn't like it, the least I can do is record myself talking, talk to myself and talk to YouTube or, the people, because it's a lot of times when I'm on YouTube and I need that video, when I don't want to keep going, when I want to give up, I be needing that video because it's not enough. People talk about depression and all of those things. And those are like precursors to this point. Precursors to the moment when you're just trying to figure out why. What is the purpose for me? Like, I don't have a lot of people to talk to, right? And family is dysfunctional. And truth be told, like, in the household that I'm in, like, come to siblings, like, it's a lot of things that I've been through that, and still go through, that people don't really understand, especially the people around me. And sometimes they will understand it, but then still choose to misunderstand me. So that is like, okay, like how do I get my family members to see me? Now that's a struggle. It's not a struggle that started recently. It's a struggle of my whole life. This is the struggle of my whole life. So when that point comes, it's like, bro, like, I've been fighting to be seen by my family for my whole life. And then you got a romance. You know, in friendships, you know, people will tell you real fast. There's other kind of relationships. Oh, it's, focus on your other relationships. Like I just said. I mean, that's usually said in regards to romance. But I just talked about parentals. Friendships. Like, when things got rough, when I first entered adulthood and I started struggling, 21, when I relocated to Long Island, when I tell you, I lost everyone that was close to me. I lost everyone that was close to me. And it started off with my first heartbreak. Because I got my heart broken first by multiple, by my mom and by a man. But I got my heart broken, moved to Long Island. The combination of those two things took away everyone who was close to me. Everyone that, like, people, friends that knew my deepest insecurities, and they were no longer around. Romance, because when you go through hard times, it's easy to say, okay, like, I don't need this because I need to focus on this. I don't need that because I need to focus on that. But there became a point where it's like, okay, I'm a human being, right? So I deserve to have connection. I deserve to have good things. I deserve to be happy. And then when I would try to give myself those things, like, when I would try to, embark, go on dating apps, or like do certain things, try to make friends, get to know people. It's like the more I tried, the more I was smacked up against that. The more I tried, the more I was smacked up against that, man. So then it reached a point where it's like, okay, I'm living the life. I'm breathing, and I don't even have anybody who would be excited if I called them to tell them about a good ass bowl of cereal I just had. Like, if I made something, cooked something, and like, I don't necessarily have that person that'll gas me up so much that I feel like Master Chef. Like I don't have that. And it's not like I'm a bad cook. Like, it's not like, truth be told, I excel at a lot of the things that I do. But it doesn't take away the fact that, like, most times I'm not going to have validation in doing these things and living and being a good person, like, and doing the things that light up my soul. That's the main thing, wanting someone to share your world with, like, not just constantly having to experience and do and live everything dolo, like, it's rough. And it's like I'm in a household filled with people, and I still don't feel like when I'm having a hard time, when I'm heartbroken, like I am right now, that I have someone I can talk to and let them know that my heart is fucking shattered. My heart is shattered. My heart was shattered again. And the thing is, like, last year I was already at this point. Like, I was already going through things. My grandma passed. I was going through a heartbreak at the same exact time. I didn't have anyone, so I was grieving my grandma. I was grieving a relationship, love. I was grieving these things by myself. I didn't have anyone to rest my head on their shoulder. I didn't have anyone to make breathing easier. I didn't have that. And when this person came into my life, I was already in the phase of, like, feeling like hope will be gone. Like, I met this person and I felt like the fairy tales that I dreamed about could potentially happen for me. And, like, I know that life isn't just about romance, but to be seen, to have been seen, to feel a point in my life where I was constantly acknowledged by someone in a home where I lived with family and I still wasn't feeling seen. Like, these things were very impactful for me. And yeah, so that situation ending the way it did, with another situation of a person who really just liked access more than they had the ability and capacity to be emotionally open with me. It's like, despite me understanding the fact that people get scared, people whatever, like, to be ignored and left hanging when you open up and be vulnerable is one of the most heartbreaking things that you can experience. Because it's like sometimes it makes you feel like no matter the case that you're a bother. Like, no matter the case, no matter the situation, like, no matter how, like, even if you try to filter and not give everybody as much as you really want to vent about, it's still too much. And it'll make you feel like there's just something deeply, deeply wrong with you. It can make you feel like because it's rough, guys. Like, it's rough. It's rough. That's how I've been feeling the past. I mean, I'll say the whole April, I'll say. Work, that's a struggle. The job market is just so so it's just too much. And the job market is rough. And basically my CNA certification, that expired in September. That was a lot because I was able to get my CNA certification reciprocated to Long Island or New York, and it was valid. But the problem was that every time I started a nursing home job over here, my back went out. Like literally. Like two days into orientation, both times at a nursing home, my back went out. And the second time it went out the worst. Like, that's when my body was just crooked, just completely done up. And it took me months to heal. And I'm still 2 years later, excuse me, 2 years later, I'm still healing and rehabilitating my body from that. My hips, my everything. Like, just walking, I felt it a little bit just now. Like, the lingering tenderness and rawness from that injury is still there. But I've been working really hard on my body to get myself back up. Oh, man. I'm sorry, y'all. This walk is beautiful. But basically, once I lost my CNA certification, it kind of took away a sense of stability that I thought I had. Because I thought, okay, I can work on my body, and then I still have my CNA certification there. But it didn't work out that way. And really, I did work a home health job being in New York, but being that I didn't work under a nursing supervisor, I did that independent contractor. So since I didn't work under a nurse supervisor, I didn't have anybody to sign my recertification form. And yeah, so if I wanted to be a CNA again, I would have to start all the way from scratch and go to school. I go to CNA school over here, which I felt like was going way too backwards. So I let it go. And I don't regret it. But the struggle now is trying to start something new. Like, I'm starting my creative brand, and I like it. I don't, I'm very proud of what I'm doing. But it's just become times when it's like, what am I doing? Like, why am I even doing this? Trying to start your own business is hard. Trying to start a creative-led business. Trying to promote my work. Trying to create something out of this vision that I have. It's like, it's gratifying, but at the same time, it's rough. This weekend was hard specifically because I applied for a grant, about a $5,000 grant, and I was hoping that I could get that grant. And then they came with like meetings and year-long memberships, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, if I could have experienced that, like, it could have gave me direction when I felt directionless. It could have helped me financially when I didn't even have enough. I don't even have enough to, like, even try to like freelance. It's like even Upwork, you gotta pay to even try to apply to a job. You gotta pay to apply to a job. And when you don't have money, it's like you're trying to start, but you just it's like what do I start with? Where do I start from? What am I even doing? Why am I even trying to do this? Why do I even have hope that it'll work? Like, it just keeps stacking. It keeps stacking. And then when you add the fact that, like, connection-wise, I don't have anyone in my field that I can talk to about starting your own business. I don't, like, no one around me is a creative individual besides my little brother. Like, no adult around me is a creative individual who, like, actually has a business and is making money. I don't have that direction around me. And truth be told, no one likes to work. But the thought of me punching into a clock, the thought of me going to work, even like, I loved being the CNA. Even something as simple as retail. It was cool, but the thought of me doing that, it literally tears my brain apart. Like, it's just, like, I feel like I've been going through so much, fighting and pushing for so long to get to where I want to be, that the thought of working and having to start from scratch like that, like, it makes me feel defeated. Truth be told. And when I sit with everything, the reality of everything that I told you guys, the reality that my future is uncertain, the reality that, like, the future is uncertain. Financial parts, familial parts, friendship parts, romantic parts. It's like, there's points in life sometimes when the only thing that you have left is you. And those moments, they break you. They break you before they build you up. They break you down. They make you feel like you're nothing, you know? They make you feel like you're nothing, that you have nothing, that you can't be anything. They can make you question every single want and dream that you've ever dreamt. That's what it does. It sits you there. It sits you there in a place where you don't have anything to externally validate you. You don't have anything to do that, and you have to reach so deep in the crevices of your own soul. You have to peep that voice that's telling you, oh, I can't do none of that shit. And you gotta peep that voice, and you gotta, give them a hug. Like, that's where the reparenting comes in. Now, this is how to deal with this shit. Like, the first part, like, that's for my people. Like, when you, like, that feeling, when you feel like you're a bother, when you feel like nothing that you're doing is right, like it'll be better off if you're just not here. For my people that feel like that in their life, in y'all life, I love y'all. Like, I know how that shit feel. I know how that shit feel when it seem like you trying the hardest you can try, you know? You trying so hard, and it's like the thing's not flowing. And sometimes, like, when I'm in, that space, like, I have to fight because my mom's criticisms come up, like the criticisms of, like the moment she told me that I didn't have any accomplishments as a woman. 24. She told me that I was 23. She told me I didn't have any accomplishments as a woman, growing up and having the whole household and family call you, your mother and your older brother call you lazy because you always in the room. Not thinking that you're in the room because that's the only safe space you have, Like, it sounds like you be working out, reading, doing all kinds of things, writing books in the room. I'm doing all, I'm 11. I'll pay money if I could find my book that I wrote when I was 11. And I'm doing all of these things. I'm getting called lazy. And it's like I be having to work really hard to, like, take that out of the list of things that I am, because I am not a lazy person. I'm not. The truth is, I've done a lot. I've done way more than I probably should have, to be 24, like, I have experience of people who are years and years older than me. Like, I've given advice to people older than my parents, But when I reach the moments, when you're stuck, when you're just stuck in the tar pit in space, and you don't really, it's hard to, like, tell yourself that you're not doing something wrong. Like, it's hard to give yourself grace. We be stuck in tar and be like, oh my God, I gotta get out. I gotta get out. Instead of being like, okay, this is tar that I'm in. It's gonna be a little difficult to get out of this tar, but it's gonna take time. We're gonna get out of this tar. And talk yourself, slowly through the time. The shit is hard. Because the reality is, like, I can give you all the advice I can give you, but tomorrow, I ain't gonna know if my life turned out. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know. The advice I do have, though, the advice that I do have is that in the moments when God, the universe, like, when everything is stripped away from you and it's just you, that is a time we have to love ourselves for the us, that one person. Like, everything else may be not around. Everything, all the external things may be lacking. But when you still have yourself with you, you be grateful to yourself. You hear me? That you that got you through every hard time, you be kind to them, okay? Because when everyone walked away, you stayed with yourself that entire time. You stayed and you listened and you sat there with every hard cry and every time and every night that you thought that you couldn't keep going, and you got through those nights to be here right now. And that is a win. That is something that is a win. Because the same way that we get attached when external people do those things for us, we need to be attached to ourselves the same way. Because you did that. You did that. And you're doing that. Even though you don't know what the hell is going on. You don't know what's going on. You don't know how you're going to get through it. You can't figure anything out. But the moment and the feet and the ground that you're sitting on or wherever you at, that is a win. That's a win. You done got through a moment that most of the people on this earth run from their entire lives. It's a win. Congratulate yourself for that. Congratulate yourself. When people leave, when people walk away, remember that the level in which they walk away from you is how much they walk away from themselves in that same situation. You don't do that. You're not doing that. You haven't been doing that, and that's why it's hard. That's why you're trying to figure out what's going on. Why do you constantly feel like you're bothering people? Why does your existence feel like it'd be better off if you weren't around? Why does it feel like that? Because when you try to fit into a world and a society that doesn't openly acknowledge certain things, it's gonna feel lonely. It's gonna be lonely. And it's rough. It's rough. That's why, to be honest, we can't attach too much to time in the future and when it'll come, when it'll work out, when it'll happen. Sometimes all you have is the ground. Excuse me. You have the grass. Sometimes that's all you have. To touch, to play, to be with. Sometimes all we have is the moment. The moment when we sit with ourselves when it's hard. The moment when we don't abandon ourselves. Them heavy moments when you feel it in your heart, that's a moment where you're not abandoning yourself. That's a moment when you're sitting with yourself. Good, bad, rough, hard, happy, blissful, you're there. Peaceful, you're there. That's a blessing, that's a flex. That's the thing that gives you strength. That's the thing that pick your chin up when you feel like everybody done left you hanging. That's what keep you going right there. Because you know that even though this moment is hard, that you're still not going to go anywhere. That you're still here right now, 10 toes, with yourself, always. Always. That's a blessing. That's a blessing. And what just popped into my head is that, it's difficult, but I feel like really, that's how we are supposed to be anyway. Because the reality is that we can have external things and external people come around and we can have talks, but it don't mean that they will always be completely heard and understood. I had a talk with my dad last night, and I was able to get a lot of things off of my chest of experiences that I had with him that were very traumatic for me. And he listened, the conversation didn't become explosive, which I'm grateful for. But at the end of the day, I know that there's always going to be things that he feels. And, for example, you can tell the complete truth about a situation that happened, and then the person will still say, I understand that's how you feel, that's what you feel like your experience was, and then make it into like something that actually happened is now some just opinion that I feel of what something was. And those things and moments are invalidating. However, if you put too much stock into the reactions of another person, or another person in general, then it takes away from the truth and power of the moment, that you spoke up for yourself, that you remained true, that you didn't stop telling your story regardless. And telling that story to say that the relationship that we have with ourselves and how we push through things and how we get through, that's the most important relationship. Regardless of if you have a good person around you or understanding person around you. And shoot, I still want to be completely understood. I want to be completely understood, completely seen and guided. And I feel like I can attain that. I feel like I can experience that. I really do. I really do. But the reality is that, I'm not going to say reality because I just said I feel like I can experience that. But I do also believe that we have to know ourselves enough to where even that person who sees you OD, you can still check them. Like, hold on, I don't move like that. That's not my way of thinking. That's not my way of being. You know? Like, I feel like when a person really see you, really get you, like, the jokes, because you know when somebody don't really get you and then they joke with you, like, y'all could be overly cool and then they say something and it's like, it lets you know that, like, damn, this person really don't understand me at all. This person really don't get me at all. Anything? It's a long video. It's gonna be my longest video so far. 37 minutes. It's like a real podcast for real. A podcast walk. And I'm telling you, like, when you feel like the purpose, the reason that you're staying afloat, like, when you feel like it's lacking, when you feel like it's fading, just remember who the fuck you are. And I know it's easy because I've had my times too, and like, everything is hitting me at once and I feel like nothing. Like, I feel like I'd just be better off. But that voice in your head, girl, guy, that voice in your head is not factual. Not factual. Think to yourself, if I had a friend that was going through the same things I was going through right now, what would I say? Compare that to what you're saying to yourself right now. See the difference. See the juxtaposition. Make a change. Because we don't have control over how other people react, but we do have control over how we react. Serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the freedom to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I believe. I don't know if I got it word for word, but and it's a whole other part. But I only memorized the first part. We got James, verse 1 to 2:4. I think that's how you say it. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because the testing of your faith develops perseverance, and perseverance must finish its work, so you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything. I'm trying to figure out. I didn't remember it being mature, but I'm gonna just leave it at that. You know, I don't really feel like that changes the message at all. And a song. LOL. I wanted to, if you guys haven't listened, listen to When You Believe by Mariah Carey and Whitney Houston. Yeah. That is one that lets you know. It's basically, one of the lines is, there can be miracles when you believe. And hope is frail, but it's hard to kill. Just things you could sing yourself, you know? Because hope is definitely, it get frail. When you try to figure out why it's so hard to just smite it. Sometimes I be wanting to smite it. Like, just take the hope out. Take it out. God, why? Why are you doing this? Take it out my heart if it's not meant to be. I be so frustrated. I be in this parking lot cursing. Like, God, what the freak? Anyway, if you guys stayed and watched the complete 41 minutes, because I'm, you know, I've been ignored a lot, so like, I'm still trying to like, I guess, accept the fact or see like damn, like, am I really just the ignorable ass person? The fuck? But nah, I think I'm cool. The truth is, people really don't ignore me, but they do though. But you know, everybody got their own emotional limitations. Like, I don't judge. I understand needing space and etc. Don't take away from how things hurt. Anyway, I love y'all. Let me show you my hair. I cut it. I cut my hair. LOL. I cut it into a pixie. Some more curls. Some little zunny. Some little zun up. It's okay. I cut it myself with the clippers. I love it. It's just not, you know. But I mean, ain't really nothing wrong with it. That's why I like short hair. Because if I don't wash it and do a wash and go, it could still be decent. Like, it don't, you know, you can still see the curls and stuff. When it's longer and you don't wash it, oh my God. Anyway, thank you for watching.